would say early in the fight, Canelo, and earlier in his career, Canelo, but he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years.
Be interesting, tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47, right?
Now
so it
he's
goes to
going to
54, and now he's going to
68.
68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
Max Kellerman linked up with Joe Rogan to deliver a bold prediction for the blockbuster fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. His take caught fans off guard, as it went against the mainstream consensus. Famous for spotting details others overlook, the veteran analyst argued that this showdown has the potential to reshape both fighters' legacies and possibly anoint a new pound-for-pound king. Kellerman explained what makes this clash so compelling, pointing to Canelo's devastating power and years of experience against top opposition. But then he pivoted to a perspective that surprised listeners: Crawford's adaptability and fight IQ. In Kellerman's view, although Canelo has reigned over recent years, it's Crawford's ability to adjust mid-battle and break down opponents that could ultimately decide the outcome.
Well then, a little bit of this and that between Canelo and Crawford. I'll give you a list of attributes, and then tell me who do you feel is best in that attribute. First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo, and earlier in his career, Canelo, but he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, you know, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford. But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who, I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while, we've seen he's a real puncher at 68.
As far as speed, who has a better speed?
You would imagine Crawford, given the fact that he is the naturally smaller fighter, and I would assume he could maintain that advantage going into this fight.
Last attribute, ring IQ.
They both have sky-high ring IQs. If I have to, Crawford. If you ask me again, there's a reason that I think Crawford's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Kellerman is also set for a major comeback in boxing broadcasting as part of Netflix's commentary team for the September 13th, 2025 Canelo vs. Crawford card. This will be his first prominent on-air role since leaving ESPN in 2023. Joining forces with John Onek and Andre Ward, Kellerman will provide analysis and insight for what is shaping up to be one of the biggest sporting events of the year. At the press announcement, he called the matchup a perfect storm and went as far as to declare Crawford, not Canelo, the current pound-for-pound leader. He emphasized that while Alvarez once held that title, it is now firmly in the hands of Bud.
I want to bring up the first member of our broadcast team. He is the best boxing analyst in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Kellerman.
All right, so I know you guys are excited about this fight, but I don't think you understand what a big deal it is. This is a perfect storm, a perfect storm. First of all, Turki Al-Sheikh, we're lucky he happens to be a boxing fan. You know, none of this happens if he doesn't happen to be a boxing fan. It's just none of us are here. Nick Khan, the best in the business. Dana White. Dana White is the greatest combat sports promoter of my lifetime. And it's his first ever boxing promotion. So that's who's behind what you're gonna see. You know who's the best pound for pound fighter in the world? The most recent one. Bud Crawford. Apologies to the monster and Usyk. Bud Crawford has my vote for best pound for pound. Who was the best pound for pound before Bud? Canelo Alvarez, universally recognized that way. But it's not just these two guys, the last two best pound for pound fighters in the world. There haven't been that many. Before Canelo, who do you have? Before Canelo, Floyd or Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. Before, you could take the lineage back. There have only been, I don't know, 25 or 30 fighters who ever lived who you said that's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. These are two of them, the last two. And they're gonna fight in Las Vegas on September 13th. Canelo is 62-2 with 2 draws, 62-2. So was Marvin Hagler when Sugar Ray Leonard moved up to fight him and they produced one of the biggest spectacles in the history of boxing. This fight is a perfect storm. I could not be more excited to be a part of it.
Joe Rogan has likewise expressed that he favors Crawford in this fight. He highlighted Crawford's versatility and tactical intelligence as factors that could tilt the balance. Rogan argued that Canelo has slowed down with time, evolving from a slick combination puncher into a fighter who leans heavily on single power shots. Crawford, by contrast, is seen by Rogan as one of the smoothest switch hitters since Marvin Hagler. Dangerous whether fighting orthodox or southpaw. On a recent Joe Rogan Experience episode, Rogan and veteran commentator Jim Lampley clashed over predictions. Rogan leaned toward Crawford, praising his sharpness, IQ, and improved physique after bulking up. Lampley, though, while admiring Crawford's brilliance and even likening him to Sugar Ray Robinson, sided with Canelo's power, counterpunching skills, and rock-solid chin, warning that Canelo's lower body strength could stifle Crawford's offense.
Yeah.
Shoot, what
Go
about
get away.
Crawford and Canelo?
What do you think of that?
Personally, I'm
Yeah.
a big Crawford fan, so I'm going to lean his way. My only concern is just the size. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't look like Terence's power transferred in the last fight, so
With
now it's coming
Majumov?
up some more. You know what I
think
mean?
Part of the problem with that is Majumov's really good.
Yeah,
He's really fucking
I mean,
good.
but I just think Crawford is. It's weird to say against Canelo, but I think he's the better boxer, and I think he's the guy who can make the better in-fight adjustments if Canelo doesn't kill him.
It's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47, right?
Now
so it
he's
goes to
going to
54, and now he's going to
68.
68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
But Terence is, I think he's the best switch hitter since Hagler.
They claim Hagler was my favorite. They claim he's walking around like a $190 or something,
yep.
and you do know he's
he
a
also-
wrestler.
In a separate interview, Lampley doubled down, picking Canelo to prevail. He admitted Crawford is an extraordinary talent, but stressed that size, experience, and championship pedigree swing the advantage to Alvarez. Lampley described Crawford as today's most complete fighter, but argued that the leap in weight is decisive. He noted that Canelo, naturally built for 168 pounds and battle-tested in countless high-stakes fights, has the physical tools to counter Crawford's adaptability and ring craft.
Canelo's smart. Absolutely, he's smart. He knows this business as well as anybody. So no, it's not surprising that Canelo learned from Floyd and has employed some of that in the retention of his career. Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo.
Teddy Atlas, the legendary boxing voice, offered a very different perspective. While recognizing Canelo's greatness, Atlas argued that Crawford is the fighter he simply won't bet against. He pointed to Crawford's unique blend of speed, adaptability, defensive movement, and mental strength as weapons that separate him from the rest. Atlas praised his razor-sharp boxing IQ and switch-hitting mastery, calling him that rare fighter whose mindset elevates him above the pack. Though he acknowledged the challenge of size disparity, Atlas insisted Crawford's skill set and determination could tilt the fight.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moved up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Stephen A. Smith also threw his support behind Crawford, predicting he would beat Canelo on the scorecards. Speaking on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, Smith credited Canelo's greatness and power, but argued Crawford's quickness, movement, and technical ability, especially his stance switching, would prove decisive. He warned that Canelo's reliance on big punches could backfire, saying, "If you can box and move, you can beat Canelo." Smith admitted that Crawford is still untested at 168 pounds, but maintained that skill would matter more than size on fight night.
Let me tell you what I think should be going. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Crawford's remarkable physical transformation leading into this fight has set social media ablaze after his leap from 154 to 168 pounds. He now appears more ripped, muscular, and powerful than ever, leading fans to react with comments like, "Canelo is in trouble." While many see his new size as a dangerous upgrade, others caution it might slow him down or drain his stamina. Olympic bronze medalist Omari Jones praised Crawford's disciplined preparation, saying he clearly gained the weight correctly and could benefit from it. Even so, skeptics argue the drastic jump could limit his speed and endurance, making the fight a risky gamble.
I just feel like Crawford, he just has the grit, and me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set. And it, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the diet and he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win.
On the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford gave fans a deeper look into his training approach. He explained that his program combines running, swimming, strength conditioning, and plyometric work, each serving a different purpose, from boosting cardio to protecting joint health. He credited swimming in particular for expanding lung capacity and helping recovery. Crawford also revealed that he keeps his weight training light, sticking to around 20-pound lifts to focus on agility rather than raw muscle. For him, the goal is maintaining quickness and balance while building the right kind of strength.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. Some of them be hard. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. You can't replace, I would say like tech sparring and like soft sparring from, a comparison to get ready for a fight. Because you fight how you spar how you fight. And if I'm in there just doing this, catch, then when the fight come and everything is full blast, full speed, I'm not gonna be able to keep up because I done train that way.
Right.
I can hit the bag, I can hit the mitts, all that I want, but nothing's coming back.
Right.
I'm not feeling that presence of a person pushing me, hitting me, holding me, things like that. So sparring is very important. And not saying that you have to, go hard every single time you spar, but there got to be days where, that fighter is trying to put it on you.
Cast your vote below. Does Canelo's power win the day, or does Crawford's skill carry him through?